I rather looked through you, I suppose you could say. The ticking sound of the clock resounded throughout the room. Other than that, there wasn't a single sound. It was completely silent, and I was alone. Lying around alone in my room, I let out numerous sighs. I had a terrible headache that just wouldn't go away, and I felt so tired. I felt like I wasn't actually in charge of my limbs, and somehow it felt like I was, well, disappearing. What's going on with my body? In the end, I went home after third period. I didn't really mind pushing myself to get my studies done, but when Yume showed up during the break, she made me go back home. And ever since I got home, I've just been lying here in my bed. Yume was here until just a little while ago, but since it was getting rather late, she went back home. Yes, this is the misery of being alone, huh? The headache made me flinch in pain. It didn't feel that bad while Yume was still here, though. Maybe it's an emotional problem. Really, I wonder what's happening to me. It doesn't feel like a cold or anything. It felt like something terrible has happened to my body ever since last night. So he's not really, saying anything beyond the Mayuki thing, so does that mean that he just spent school, normal, I suppose? Without any kind of same kind of incident with Mayuki? Because he's not mentioning anything else. I was pretty sure it happened right after that news report about the cherry trees withering. After hearing that report, it felt like I just lost all my strength. Maybe there's some connection. No, that's too stupid. That's too just illogical, but completely logical in this, you know? It just doesn't add up. Oh well. I forced my body to stand up and walked over to the window. All I could see were the barren cherry trees. They sure did wither up quickly. I saw someone standing at the house's gate. Ah, there's the missing CGs. So it's the same CG, only it's at night. And I'm not sure if the cherry trees withered when she first appeared at the house like this or not, but it wasn't at night. Is that Otome? She was just standing there, staring in the direction of my room. Her long hair was fluttering in the wind, and she looked like she was about to cry. All the while just looking up at my room. She spotted me. Otome seemed to mumble something, then she turned around and walked off towards Sakura Park. You know, you ain't fooling me there. I've heard, some words in Japanese so often that I can tell that she just apologized right there. But you wouldn't understand it even if you did hear it clearly. I wonder why she's going there at this hour. I hurriedly ran out of my room and down the stairs. Then I grabbed my coat and went outside. I don't really know why, but I feel like I have to chase after Otome. It was just a feeling I had. I don't think he ever did that the other times. To the tree! That was a bit of a mood killer the way I did that, and it's just right to the scene. But they were standing in a giant stack of petals that had fallen from the massive everlasting cherry tree. You know, it looks ominous a bit, doesn't it? It's kind of eerie looking without the, cherry blossoms on it and the middle of the night. She pressed her hand to the tree's trunk and had a lonely smile on her face. Otome. Her shape seems so, pronunciation, whatever to me. That's the thing with me. If I haven't heard a word, actually pronounced a fair amount of times, then I'll have absolutely no idea how to pronounce it. Then I was afraid she was going to disappear. She puffed out a little white cloud of steam and she looked up at the big tree and spoke to me. She sounded unconcerned, but those words struck me deep in my heart. My body? She sounded confident. Why do you ask? Otome looks... Bird, look straight at me. Standing there in the moonlight, her eyes looked full of sadness. What are you...
少し昔話をしよっか。
Otome... God damn it, Bird, you're ruining the mood. That's my job. Otome leaned against a big tree and took a deep breath. Like a fairy tale?
うん。ねえ、弟くん。この初音島の桜の木、どうして枯れなかったの？不思議だよね。桜の木なのに、一年中枯れないなんて。
God damn, you're not even gonna let anyone, me or her, finish a sentence, are you, Bird? I have no idea why she's telling me this.
理由は簡単なの。どうしてそんな不思議な現象が起きるのか。その理由は、この木自体が不思議なものだったからなんだよ。人々の願いを叶える魔法の木。それが、この枯れない桜の正体。
Magical trees that grant people's wishes.
そう。人々の思いの力を集めて、そして奇跡を起こす。そんなシステム。一人の魔法使いが夢の世界を作ろうとして植えた魔法の木。誰かを思う力が誰かに必要な奇跡を起こす。それは素敵なことだよね。でも、このシステムには欠陥があった。人の願いを無差別に叶えてしまうという。それが、たとえどんなに汚れた願いでも、最近の初音島で起きている事件や事故は、それが原因。まだそれほど大きな被害は出ていないけど、このまま放っておいたらいずれ大変なことになる。だから私が枯らしたの。
Yeah. I remember now. It's because if the main cherry tree dies, they all die, and all goes to shit on that, I suppose. Otome had said all that in a single breath, with the bird chirping almost uncontrollably so.
それが私の役割だから。
Okay, give me a second. I kinda doubt that putting the towel over the cage will do any good, but let's continue.
魔法使いとしての私の役割。私はこの島を守らないといけないから。
I guess that's why Otome's been acting so weird recently.
そしてね、弟くんはね、この木の魔法の力がないと存在できない存在なの。
I don't think I've ever seen Otome look so sad.
人の思いがないと存在できない。それが弟くん。
It felt like Otome's words were so far away. So if that's the case, then that kind of explains how his existence in the world is maintained by the feelings of those close to him, I suppose, even if it only lasts for a slight extended amount of time. But he just doesn't quit with that, does he? But essentially, someone, I'm guessing Sakura, I have no idea what she does, but someone clearly does something to kind of restore it in some way. But I doubt we'll get to find out that till her out. What is she saying? The trees have no magic, I can't exist. I guess it's somewhere like that. But even if Otome is telling the truth, I'm still here, right? Maybe I've managed to cross over from another plane of existence? This should be quite shocking, but I feel rather calm and composed.
今はまだみんなの思いが残っている。でもね、それは少しずつ薄らいでいく。そして 忘れられる。
As Otome spoke, I felt like my heart was going to stop. I remembered how Maiko-senpai looked at me yesterday. It was as if she couldn't see me, as if she didn't know I even existed.
一人一人確実にみんな弟くんの存在を忘れていく。記憶から抜け落ちて見えなくなって。ねえ弟くん、世界中の誰からもその存在を認識されなくなってしまった人は果たして存在していると言えるのかな。その人はこの世界からどうなっちゃうのかな。
I guess they would disappear. I'm going to disappear? That's... all I could think of at that moment was a single girl.
だから言ったよね。ゆめちゃんと付き合うのはやめてって。後悔することになるって。
So that's how it was. This is pretty hard on me. If Otome is telling me the truth, then this is really severe. Because it'll be pretty much the same thing as dying, won't it?
ごめんね。
I could tell that Otome was about to start crying.
弟くんのこと守ってあげられなくて。
But he shoulders? What? Her shoulders shook heavily as she bit her lip. Otome was holding back her tears, and I looked up at the gigantic cherry tree. I never thought it'd change, but now it looks nothing like how it used to. There's nothing that doesn't change. Fairy tales always come to an end. However, I'll do my best. I'll look straight into Otome's eyes. I promised Yume. I promised her that I'd stay by her side forever. So I won't give up, even if Otome's words are the truth. And it means I'll disappear someday. I still won't give up. Also, I'm sorry for any sad memories I might have caused you one day. Otome must be in pain as well. I mean, we grew up together. We were family, no, closer than family. And even so, Otome had to kill the cherry tree. With her own hands. With her own free will. Otome's tears had started flowing. And now they just wouldn't stop. The night was completely silent. No extra CGs.
兄さん、朝だよ。目覚まして。もう、やっぱり寝ぼすけなんだから。まったく、気持ちよさそうな寝顔して。
That was a weird snore there, wasn't it? This bird, really just like, it doesn't matter, man. He'll chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp. Although he's got a reason to chirp, because there's birds chirping in the novel as well.
起きてくれないと、すごいことしちゃうよ。
You know, lately I've been thinking, like, after that Capo 2, I think maybe finally get around to Higurashi, and you know what? It's called Higurashi when they cry. It's pretty much like, I think Higurashi is like some kind of, I don't even know what they would be classified as, but essentially they make a lot of noise, but it should be like birds when they cry in this case, because that bird's gonna be chirping the whole freaking time.
本当にすごいことしちゃうよ。早く起きないと大変だよ。いいの？本当にしちゃうからね。よいしょっと。
What?
あれ？もう、大きくなってる？
Seriously? Jesus Christ, man. Yume is the exception in this one. It's just like, oh, everyone else, they get like one. Just one. Yume is just like all over the place. What the freaking hell, man? I mean, like 3 freaking parts in a row, I think this is.
兄さん、もしかしてエッチな夢見てたってこと？
I mean, come on, man. This is why this route's kind of failing me a bit, because it's been too focused on these type of situations. So it feels like not much really developed beyond that.
もしかして、私以外の人の夢を見てたりして？
Was it going to be like the last time where it didn't actually escalate into anything? It just seemed like it would. Okay, so it did lead to one of those scenes, but I thought it was going to go on a bit longer than that. Because, well, this by here feels like it's hinting they're about to get it on after he got a bit of a wake-up call, let's say, and it didn't seem to escalate further than that. So I had to reload, so to like see what happens after it, because he seems to like be reflecting on his situation a bit. I impulsively embraced Yume.
もう兄さん、制服がシワになっちゃうよ。
Sorry, want to let go? Want me to let go? Or what? Asked her that while still holding her tightly.
嫌なわけないじゃない。
Yume put her arms around me. I mean, that line right there. Because of like the way all the other scenes have gone throughout this thing, you'd expect, and then the music stops and then starts up again. But it doesn't. So it caught me off guard, that did. It felt like we melted together as she hugged me back. I could never leave Yume. Yume does so many things for me. And we're so close. But still.
そして、忘れられる。
I just couldn't get Otome's words out of my head. But seriously, so many of those damn scenes in this route. This classroom sunset. I was sitting alone by my desk just staring at the window. This kind of reminds me of that dream. 7 times. That was how many times people had completely forgotten about me in the middle of a conversation today. I guess Otome's words were really true.
一人一人確実に、みんな弟くんの存在を忘れていく。記憶から抜け落ちて、見えなくなって。ねえ弟くん。世界中の誰からも、その存在を認識されなくなってしまった人は、その人は、この世界からどうなっちゃうのかな。
Damn it! I said I'd do my best, but what should I do? You should talk to someone to make them notice that I exist. And then somehow imprint that on reality.
あら?
Oh, it's this scene again. Suddenly the door to the classroom opened and our class rep showed up. Hey, class rep. I guess I stayed behind a bit too long after closing time. Wonder if she's gonna cheer me out about it.
まったく、最後に帰る人は、ちゃんと窓の鍵を閉めるよう言ってるのに。
She mumbled that to herself as if she didn't notice that I was still in there. Click, clack.
きっと杉並か板橋ね。明日のホームルームできつく言っておかなきゃ。
You know, I wonder how his existence is to them. Is he just like invisible? Is he still physically there? I mean, wouldn't that freak someone out? Just like, what if I pat one of them on the head? And they'd be like, what the fuck was that, man? Acting like she didn't even see me standing there, she closed the door and left the classroom. I guess that, to her, I don't even exist anymore. Oh man, no point in standing around here and being depressed. I promised you, after all. I slapped my face once and then I ended out the same way as our class rep did. But didn't she lock the door? Well, this is suddenly upbeat. Hard day off. Yuma and I went down to the shopping district together. I was still feeling tired and my headache was ever present, but it didn't feel so bad while Yuma was with me. I wish there were some good places to hang out around here.
あるじゃない。カラオケボックスに、喫茶店に、映画館に。
Well, I meant like a zoo or an aquarium. I'd like to hang out somewhere nice and quiet. Just wanted to see more places to go with her. With her, show her more things. But I was too shy to say it straight to her. I guess there really aren't any recreational spots on the island other than Sacroland. My budget is a bit tight, but I'd really like to take her there. It's good to make lots of happy memories after all. Hey, you may want to go to Sacroland for a bit?
いや、そこまでしなくてもいいよ。兄さん今月厳しいんでしょ？
You may smile mischievously at me, she knows me all too well. Well, it may be a bit tight, but there's enough in there to afford a date.
そっか。でも、私は場所はどこでもいいよ。こうやっていつも通り過ごせれば、それでいいから。大切なのは、どこに行くかじゃなくて、そばに兄さんがいてくれること。
You may said that and smiled refreshingly. For some reason my heart ached when I saw that smile.
どうかした？
Nah, it's nothing. Why am I being so timid? Being together forever with Yume, isn't that just natural?
変な兄さん。
You know what bugs me a bit is that despite them being a couple, she still calls him by that every time. Yume tilted her head a bit and then she grabbed my hand.
さてと、今日はどこに行こうかな？
I walked on hand in hand with Yume.
綺麗だね。
Escaping the bustling shopping district, I had brought Yume over to the cliff. The place where you can see the sky and sea meet. The atmosphere around you is quite fantastic at sunset. It's like the entire world is dyed red. Well, it's pretty, but...
だけど
Why are you standing so far away from me? Come over here, why don't you? After we got up on the cliff, Yume had walked away from me for a bit and was looking at the scenery.
いや、それはちょっと。
She was waving her hands back and forth. You're weird. Oh, wait.
何？
Aren't you afraid of heights?
そんなことないよ。子供じゃないんだから。
Not that phobias have anything to do with how old you are. Yes, true. I mean, just because you grow up doesn't mean you get over some phobias like that, you know? Oh well. Oh hey, wait. Is that why? Is it because you're afraid of heights that you didn't want to go to Sacroland? In case we get on the loop-the-loop coaster or the Ferris wheel?
いや、だから私は別に高いところが苦手ってわけじゃ。
Okay, maybe we should go to Sacroland next week then. And ride the Ferris wheel. Huh? What's wrong?
別に望むところです。
She clenched her fist in front of her chest to show her enthusiasm. I couldn't help but smile as she did that. Alright, it's a date. I don't know if we'll really ride the Ferris wheel, but I'd like to go to have fun at Sacroland with Yume. I'm going to do my very best to keep experiencing fun times like this with her, just the two of us, together. And then I saw that dream again. A world dyed red. It was such a bright crimson that my eyes hurt, and a cold piercing wind, and extra CGs that we didn't have until now. I could sense a familiar presence, because I noticed this, well, this CG also had some missing CGs with it. You know how CGs, where it's like, you click on it, it's like 1, 2, 3, and you just be like, you've got like 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. They're essentially the same CG but with different time of day or expression, things like that. But essentially I noticed that some of these were missing. And an intimacy that was very real. Is this Yume's dream? I'm sharing her feelings. They're flowing into me. My chest ached as though it had been twisted. I could feel the wind on my face, hear the sounds of the city far away, and the footsteps of the people who passed by in front of me. It was a very realistic feeling of sadness.
何してるんだろう。
She sounded like she was going to cry.
こんなところで待ってたって しょうがないのに。
Tears started forming in her eyes as she looked at the school building.
もう、ここで待ってても、会えるはずなんてないのに。
Maybe this is what she meant by her dreams being like a premonition kind of thing.
もう、兄さんはいないのに。分かってたことなのに。こうなること、必ず別れが来るってこと。一人ぼっちになるって分かってた。なのに。
As she was about to start crying, she bit down on her lip. I could feel her pain as she tried to hold back her tears, and her nose started running. She couldn't hold back her tears. She listened in hope as strangers walked by, hoping that someone amongst them, her Nissan, would be smiling at her. That he'd come running up to her, saying he was sorry to keep her waiting. And then she'd scold him a little. Nissan would feel troubled, and she would feel slightly happy as he apologized to her. She was hoping for that to happen, but she had been betrayed, and she was all alone. But even so, she held on. She kept waiting like this.
寂しいよ、兄さん。
Her shoulders wouldn't stop trembling. Her words rang genuinely.
一人は嫌だよ。
I was so close to her, but I was powerless to do anything. I felt horrible as I woke up. My headache, my limbs, the pain in my chest, they all felt even worse than yesterday. But the worst thing was... Damn it! Yume's heart full of loneliness. That was the dream Yume had, and it was the future Yume had seen, alone, in front of the school gates, a future where she was always waiting for me. But I couldn't be there with her, because I didn't exist anymore. That can't have been a premonition. And even if it was, I was going to change that future.
ねえ、弟くん。世界中の誰からもその存在を認識されなくなってしまった人は、果たして存在していると言えるのかな？
Well, that dream indicates that Yume remembers him, so technically he would have existed.
どうしたの、ゆめちゃん。なんかある？まったく。最後に帰る人はちゃんと窓の鍵を閉めるよう言ってるのに。
The one thing that annoys me about this is, still, no appearance of Tsukunami or Wataru to see how that would have gone. I mean, that happened in Otome's route, didn't it? But not this route. They had both said that while standing right in front of me. I no longer existed to make a senpai admire. And now even the people close to me. My heart felt like it was going to break.
兄さんは本当に後悔しない？
Yume knew about that it would end up like this. But even though she knew,
ちゃんと責任取ってね。ずっと私のそばにいてね。
she even smiled when she said that. She looked so happy because I had said that. Even though she knew it could never be. Even though she had seen that kind of dream. She always seemed so happy and so hopeful. I can't give up. If I give up, it's all over. From what Otome said, I still exist because people's feelings for me still linger. The fact that they still think about me is the only thing that lets me remain here. I put my hand to my chest. I could feel my heart beating still. I guess I'm fine for now. I have to keep connected with others. I forced my heavy body to get out of bed. I was resting on my bed. Well, so much for getting out of bed. Just skip the day. Everything I tried had been in vain. And... I let out a pathetic sigh. I'd walked around the island all day and talked to everyone I saw. And during that long trip, I noticed that the people who recognized me had grown even fewer. My nose was running. My lips were trembling. I'm being forgotten. My existence is steadily fading. And it really scares me. I'm going to disappear from this world. It's basically the same as dying. And really, who wouldn't be afraid of that? But the worst part is that Yume will end up all alone.
寂しいよ。兄さん。
I remembered yesterday's dream. She was in so much pain, and she just kept waiting for me. And I wasn't there with her. I had left Yume all alone.
兄さん、いる？
I heard an anxious voice and a knock on my door. I hurriedly wiped my eyes and sat up. Yeah, what's up?
ちょっと入るね。
Yume opened the door and walked into my room.
もう、今日は一日中どこ行ってたの？せっかく一緒に過ごそうと思ったのに。
She was frowning as she said that. My heart skipped a beat as I saw her like that. It was the same Yume as ever. The fact that she was acting so naturally hurt so bad.
どうしたの兄さん？もしかして、また体調悪いの？
Yume skipped over to my bed. Ah, that's not it.
でも、なんか疲れた顔してる。
Yume put her tiny hand on my forehead. I could feel her warmth, I could feel how real she was. And the thought of losing that scared me so much. Yume already knows. She knows about a world where I'm gone. She's seen it in her dream. But still, she...
兄さんが元気になるためのおまじない。
This is how she usually is. She smiles just like she's doing now. As I felt her gentle lips, the corner of my eye turned wet. I tried to keep them back, but the tears just started flowing. I felt so pathetic.
兄さん、どうしたの？
I'm sorry.
いや、別に謝らなくてもいいけど。
Yume, so sorry. About what's going to happen. About being such a pathetic boyfriend. Well, it's not like you asked to disappear, Yoshiyuki. About promising you that I would always be by your side. Because I looked into Yume's eyes. Perhaps she could tell that what I was feeling, because she let a melancholy smile show.
兄さん、笑顔だよ。
あ？
恋人同士でいるときは、笑顔じゃなきゃ。幸せなんだから、楽しい日常なんだから。だから、笑顔でいないとダメだよ。
Yume's smile shifted to being quirky.
幸せな時間を過ごすために、私は兄さんと付き合うことにしたんだから。後悔しない時間を過ごすために、私は兄さんのそばにいることにしたんだから。だから、笑顔でいてよ。今まで通り、普通でいてよ。兄さんが消えてしまうその時まで。私は、それだけで十分に幸せだから。
Yume leaned her head against my chest and let out a little sigh. We both knew it. What was happiness now would turn into pain in the future. But even so, she...
ねえ兄さん、今日は一緒に寝よう。
If you go into one of those scenes, though, seriously, man. She was still smiling. She looked like she was happy from the bottom of her heart. And below that heart, she hid away all her sadness.
昼間兄さんが勝手に一人で出かけちゃったんだから、それくらいいいよね。
I embraced Yume, who was trembling slightly. And while feeling that familiar warmth of hers next to me, I nodded.
兄さん、朝だよ。早く起きて。
She shook me as hard as she could. When I opened my eyes, I saw Yume already in her school uniform, and that usual smile on her face.
ほら、早く起きないと遅刻しちゃうよ。
And that same familiar line. Yeah, I nodded and got up. I couldn't really feel the rest of my body. I was really dizzy though. This music kinda reminds me of Clannad a bit. My head was so heavy it felt like someone had filled it with concrete. But I smiled and got out of bed. And then I got dressed as usual. Because Yume was there with me. Hey, we're we're still going to be late. If you're going to wake me up, do it so I won't have to kill myself trying to get to school on time. I over-exaggerated on purpose.
起こしたよ。何度起こしても兄さんがなかなか起きなかったんじゃない。
Yume pouted a bit. Yep, this is the same old familiar morning routine. I'd been through a lot of times, and there should have been plenty more to go around. Yep, this is working out fine. My chest hurts a bit, but I'll be fine.
じゃあ、私は先に1階に降りてるから、すぐに着替えてきてよね。
Yeah, I got it. Hey, wait! I stopped Yume just as she was about to leave the room. You forgot your morning greeting.
いや、
Yume screeched to a halt, turned around and walked up to me. And then our lips met again. It was the light touch of a kiss. Good morning, Yume.
おはよう、兄さん。
These trees sure dried up really fast.
そうだね。まあ、冬だったらこれが普通なんだけど。
Although since they've lived there pretty much their whole lives and it's always been cherry blossoms in bloom all year round, they haven't seen what winter usually would look like tree-wise, have they? Same old mornings, same old winter breeze. And the same girls with fluttering skirts walking down the road. Suddenly I saw a familiar face.
それでね、今度スタジオ入って練習しようかなと思って。スタジオって大丈夫なの？金たくさんかかったりしないかな？あれ？ココって今までスタジオ入ったことなかったっけ？うん、私はいつも音楽室で練習してるから。
Chatting away happily, they walked right past us. Hey, you guys, what are you talking about?
そっか、楽しいよ、スタジオで練習するの。うん、ちょっと興味あるかも。あ、でも、ギターできる人探さないと。
They didn't seem to hear me at all. Man, even Coco, man. I mean, remember in Otome's route, she, while didn't remember him, had this faint, familiar feeling. While everyone else seemed to have forgotten him. And then there's Wataru and Tsunami, he hasn't run into them yet. As if they had just passed by a cold puff of wind, they kept walking.
そうだね。いつまでもリズム隊だけじゃね。やっぱりギターは必要だよ。
They're the same as Maiki-senpai and Maya. They didn't notice me at all. Or rather, they didn't even notice my existence. I knew it'd be like this, but it was still a shock to me. I didn't think that even Anaka and Coco would have forgotten about me quite yet.
きっと話に夢中になって気づかなかったんだよ。
Yeah, maybe.
ほら、兄さん。なんか怖い顔してるよ。笑顔、笑顔。
Yume pushed my cheeks up and I somehow managed to smile.
どこかにからかいがいのある男の子、転がってないかな。最近生活に刺激がなくって。自分でトラブルを起こしてみたら。嫌だよ。私はトラブルには巻き込まれたくないの。周りの人がわたわたするのを見るのが楽しいじゃない。
Because you're such a troll. I kinda sure is being as self-centered as usual. Hey, don't just go around causing trouble for random people. I don't mind if you make fun of me, but...
もうすぐ寄れ。
Well, it's not like they were gonna remember him, was it? I mean, sure, he has hanged around them a lot, but still.
大丈夫、大丈夫。女の子には涙って武器があるんだから。あんたって本当に悩みなさそうね。そんなことないって、これでも結構悩んでるんだよ。ココちゃんはどんな人が好きなのかなとか、どうやってココちゃんをからかおうかな。
Pretty much forgotten his existence to that extent as well. Well, it's obvious, but they never really expanded anywhere on that, did it? So it's as if, like, Coco never had a crush on him because he never existed to them. The two of them walked off and they looked like they were having lots of fun. As I saw them walk away, I couldn't help but think about how well I thought I knew them. But I guess my existence is just too far away to reach them now, even though I talked to them just a day ago or so. Grip. I could feel the warmth against my hand. Yume was lovingly holding my hand.
ねえ兄さん、今日は天気もいいし、学校サボって遊びに行っちゃおうか。
Yume said that as we stood right outside the school gates. Huh?
ね、そうしよう。決まり。
Yume pulled me away from the school gate, smiling with all her might.
デートだよ、デート。
She sounded all uppity. After spinning around for a bit, she went back to walking normally.
楽しい一日にしよう。
Her voice was trembling a little bit.